These are the 3 most common mistakes that I've seen after interviewing hundreds of candidates over my 10-year career. And I'll share how to fix those mistakes by analyzing examples from people in the spotlight and giving sample answers that you can model. Now let's start with mistake 1. Your answer to the question, tell me about a time when you made a mistake, isn't sincere. And the fix that I have is the 4-part failure framework. See just how well Obama answers the question, what do you wish you would have done differently during your presidency?
The thing I would have probably done differently is I would have tried to describe earlier to the American people how serious the recession was going to be, which would have hopefully allowed us to have an even bigger response than we did.
The first part of the framework is to be specific about what you did wrong. Obama does this by saying he underplayed the recession to the American people. 2, share the consequences of that mistake.
I maybe didn't indicate to them that, look, this is probably going to be a 2, 3, 4-year process of us digging out of this hole, so that we could have staged some of that recovery money over a longer period of time and possibly accelerated the recovery.
Here, the consequence is that the economy didn't recover as quickly as it could have. Number 3, share your learnings from the mistake. And 4, share how you change from that mistake. Now, Obama doesn't say the last 2 parts of this framework in his answer, but here's an example that fully uses the 4-part failure framework that you can take. I once forgot to send an important email to a partner to finalize their integration. This led us to not being able to include that key partner during our platform launch, which was a missed opportunity. I had to work hard to repair the partner relationship and mend fences with our disappointed marketing team. From this, I learned the importance of prioritization. This platform launch was the most important part of my role at the time, but back then I was solely focused on completing any assignment, regardless of the priority level that crossed my desk. Now I understand the importance of ruthless prioritization and aligning priorities with the leadership team's top objectives in order to ensure that those tasks do get done before anything else. Mistake 2, you just give up when you're asked a difficult question. And the fix is to use this framework. Ask, what would need to be true? Spot what Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy says when he's asked whether he would pardon Edward Snowden.
So Snowden, I'm actually collecting the facts on this. I'm going to be very honest with you, right? Assange, I think, is the easier case. Edward Snowden, I need to understand what the specifics were of the obligations that he made, that he violated. And was he punished in a way that someone else under similar circumstances would not have been? To me, that's the definition of a politicized prosecution.
Even if you don't have the answer, it's okay to acknowledge that, so long as you articulate what you would need to know to answer that question. Now, interviewers don't necessarily care about your final answer. They care more about how you derive that answer. Here's an ideal sample answer to the question, what's an example of a partner that you would target and why? Before answering this question directly with a concrete example, I'd like to share what are the top criteria that I would optimize for in seeking an ideal partner. I'd want to know the customer demand for the partner, our technical ability for us to support the partner, use cases that would drive the deepest forms of engagement on our platform, the potential of the market to reach multiple partners, and the partner's willingness to build with us. Given that, I would target the security vertical because I think they have the great overlap with our customer base. They're a growing market, they would complement our core user base, and they have a variety of smaller partners I'd imagine are willing to partner with a platform like ours. It takes practice, but if you can ask yourself, what are the 3 most important questions that you need to know? It's a great forcing function to getting to the core answer. And even if you don't get the answer right, showing your work goes a long way. Mistake 3, your answer to the why this role question is not sincere. And the fix is give the hero's journey. This tactic can go a long way, particularly for candidates that may not be the best fit on paper. Whatever you do, don't give a generic answer like, I sent my resume out to hundreds of companies and this is what stuck.
So look, I'm running distinctively on my vision for this country. I'm not running on my biography or my business credentials. I'm running on a vision for this country that I've articulated over the last several years, and a lot of the conservative base actually is familiar with me through the 3 books I've written, 2 of which are published, traveled the country and otherwise.
Notice how he's addressing the credibility gap head on, and how he's sharing his experience that would show why he'd be a great candidate regardless. By addressing this head on rather than running away from the credential gap, you're minimizing its impact in your hiring manager's mind.
But my view is we're in the middle of this national identity crisis, where if you ask most people my age, really any age, what does it mean to be an American today? You get a blank stare in response. But actually to go upstream and fill that black hole with a vision of American national identity that runs so deep that it dilutes these agendas to irrelevance and actually unifies us as a country. And I'm running because I believe genuinely that I'm the candidate best positioned to actually deliver national unity by reawakening that shared American identity.
Now, the hero's journey is where you place yourself as the protagonist that encounters a problem worth solving, and positioning the role that you're applying for as the solution. When you can give your interviewer the keys to literally helping you accomplish your dream, they're gonna naturally feel much more compelled to do so. The ideal answer to this type of question in a job interview could be something like this. I'm the type of person who feels most fulfilled when I know that I'm delivering 100% of my full potential at work. But over the past 6 months, I haven't been given the leeway to do so. That's why I'm particularly excited about this opportunity at X company. It would allow me to be entrepreneurial and creative, particularly being the first hire of its kind, building a new platform from the ground up. I would also flex my strategic skill set by identifying new markets to pursue and defining our go-to-market motion, something I have quite a bit of experience from a prior role. And more importantly, X company embodies the values that I deeply care about and try to live by every day. No I in team, something that I learned while a Navy SEAL. But the one question that you have to nail for any interview is, tell me about yourself. Check out this video right here to see how you can set yourself up for success.